Warning, this video may cause cozy behavior, willingness to cancel plans, making hot chocolate in a video game themed mug, and may release your inner introvert.
With the new era of Stardew Valley 1.6 update coming very soon, we need to start making your game cozy and relaxing instead of getting tied up in the throes of capitalism and greed. I am telling you these 8 ways to make Stardew Valley the cozy, relaxing game it was meant to be while rebelling against the capitalist machine. Stop listening to min-max guides that make you work from 6 a.m. when your farmer wakes up to 2 a.m. when they pass out from pure exhaustion. Instead, you want to learn how to be efficient on your farm and still have time to enjoy the beach, festivals, and of course cutscenes with your favorite townsfolk. Don't overexert yourself each and every Stardew day because the gold you earn from the wine and crops will not pay your actual bills. Unless you're a YouTuber, hashtag subscribe. Number 2, spread out the community center over 1.5 to 2 years. Yes, you heard me correctly. Do not try to finish your community center by winter 3 because all it will do is make you hyper focused on completing every task and progression, and you will not be able to actually enjoy your farm. Use the grandpa's creepy candle thing on the top left corner of your farm as a guide instead. He gives you a review on the first day of spring on year 3, and if you complete the community center by then, that is much more cozy. Number 3, let's face it, some of the harsh colors in Stardew Valley do not scream cozy gaming. However, there's about 1,000 mods and items in game to help cover up the radioactive yellow soil, and if you plan your farm out correctly, it will actually be quite aesthetic and relaxing as you do your daily routine of feeding animals and watering your crops. That is if you still need to water your crops and did not get sprinklers. And speaking of sprinklers and feeding your animals, my next tip is to slowly automate everything. Nothing is less cozy than feeding a bunch of ungrateful animals that do nothing other than produce fractionally profitable goods, and some of them can't even swim in the pond. Number 5, stay away from Skull Cavern unless you have harvested plenty of jade to trade for staircases with the desert trader. The pure stress of the cave is enough to make me open a JojaMart franchise because of the amount of pure chaos that ensues as soon as you enter. Only after a solid 18 hours in the mines do you start finding floors that actually bring joy and aesthetic items such as iridium and prismatic shards. So instead, just use 100 staircases to leisurely collect what you need. Just make sure you save a couple staircases because you're still going to hit a couple levels that you're going to want to skip. Don't have children. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Children ruin everything and don't even help with the farm chores, and sometimes it's just better to just... make your farm aesthetic. There's nothing less cozy than walking around a mess of a farm with no symmetry, design, or class. Instead of throwing down farm buildings and plots of crops, do some planning and take your time. If you slowly make your farm more and more appealing, it will be quite a relaxing process, and it will start to bring you joy when you're doing your day-to-day tasks. And finally, get to know the fellow Pelican Town residents. Yes, 90% of them are unlikable when you meet them. And yes, 50% of them are still unlikable when you do get to know them. But there are some worthwhile cutscenes and friendships that develop by spending some time in town with the other townspeople, and it will give you a break from the farming, fishing, and mining routine. Also, it makes you feel a much bigger part of the world when you actually get to know everybody and kind of know everybody's backstory, so get to know everybody possible. So really what I'm trying to say is don't stress yourself out making this game not as cozy as it should be. You don't have to do everything the most profitable min-max way. Make the cherry wine. Soak up all the festival activities. And most of all, just relax and put on some lo-fi music and play the game.